Hey, Maureen.
More people are coming in. Exciting. Hi, Emma.
And that is coming.
Hi, Stella.
Hi, Looby.
Hi, Annette. I'm so glad you could make it.
Hi. Hi.
Jane, hi. Wow. Great. Wow. Well, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to join us for this Kickstarter launch party. I'm muting people now. Yeah, thank you so much for being here. Really, I'm having a little bit of a bubbly day here today with the snow outside and pressing launch on the Kickstarter party, so I'm all excited to be here. Yeah, thank you all for being here. Thank you to Delvin and Barbara for supporting me to get to this point in pressing launch on the Kickstarter Kickstarter, and yeah, thanks Jon for all your continued encouragement and collaboration with Cultural Emergence. And yeah, Jon, would you like to start us off with gratitude and open the space for us?
Yeah, definitely. Delvin, thank you for the music. It's always nice to have the music, and it just gives the Zoom such a different feeling. And Looby, thanks for being brave and leaping off the cliff of Kickstarter into Cultural Emergence cards. This is really fun. And right now I'm here in my home in the Santa Cruz Mountains of California. And just to line up perfectly with this meeting, we went from rainy and cloudy to sunny and blue. So there's a little bit of a blessing coming from the natural world right around me here to be in this moment. And I'm looking out the window at these gorgeous turkeys laying in the sun and enjoying the sun. And yeah, so just for a moment, if you all wouldn't mind, because what Looby's about to launch here is really important to all of us, but it's also important to all the people who will be touched by the tools that come through this card deck, as well as the people of the future, in essence. If people take their creative role and manifest good things in the world, it's going to benefit all of us. And I especially think of our children, our grandchildren, and the future generations that we'll never get to meet. So I feel like it's an important moment, and to really recognize the importance of it, it would be good for us to just let ourselves go on a journey of gratitude together and just think about all the things that support us, that we can be here and enjoy life. And I'll think first of the earth that rests beneath all of us, but in a way, we're like those turkeys stuck on the earth right now, warming in the sun. We're like little refrigerator magnets all over this big ball, because we're all over the world right now. And, just feel that beautiful earth between all of us right now, and just sense how we are supported by the earth in so many ways that we can't even think of them all right now, even if we collectively tried. But the earth is so supportive of us and all of those who came before us, and let's hope for all those who follow. Thank you to the earth, and thank you to all the people who are here, all the people that Looby mentioned, and all the people that helped us get to this moment and that support us in this moment, known and unknown, all over this world. And all of the ways that the waters support our lives and nourish us, that the waters that are within our bodies, the beautiful oceans and rivers and streams and springs and melting snow on the highest glaciers, and all the waters of the world, and all the life that lives within the waters. And in the same way, the soils, which are this magical elixir alchemy, and all the beings that make it so, the mycelium and all the microorganisms of the soil that make soil this incredibly amazing substrate of life, and all the plants that burst forth from the soil, the grasses and the trees and the ferns and the mosses, and even the ones that are part fungus and part plant, like the lichens on the rocks, all of the plant world, and all of the things that grow from the sun. and from the soil, and all the animals and birds and reptiles and amphibians and insects and microorganisms that share this earth with us, and the beautiful things that fly in the sky, the winds that carry them, and the rain and the clouds, and the thunder and lightning and the seasons, and that upper atmosphere that does its magic and keeps it just right here and within the skin of the atmosphere that we can all live. Just gratitude to all those systems and things and beings that share this world with us. And rising up, that beautiful full moon that just passed, and how the moon, she holds hands with the waters of the world and the women of the world in a mysterious way, and the sun that holds us all in orbit and gives light to this day here, and all the planets that we share the solar system with. We could see two of them in the west last night, Venus and Jupiter together, just so beautifully, and all the stars in our galaxy that we can see, and all the galaxies that stretch so far beyond our ability to imagine. And just gratitude to all those things, because they are all working together to create this moment. And that's why we're here and why we're able to be here. So thank you for all that. And special thank you to the way we are helped from unseen forces that guide dreams and visions and synchronicity, and in this case, most importantly, creativity and emergence, and how these things help us in ways that we can't even pin down, but really grateful for that help. And I'm sure you're all feeling that too. And gratitude for the ancestors of our family and the ancestors of all wisdom that has passed down to us in ways known and unknown, that allows us to be good people on the earth, and that we could gather this wisdom and pass it forward to those who are coming in the future, who always give us a reason to bring our minds together in a good way. And to the great mystery behind all of it, I'll just put a blanket of gratitude out for everything I didn't mention, and anything that you're feeling you wished was thanked, just put it out silently now. And that hopefully will give us what we need to have a wonderful Kickstarter launch. Over to you, Looby.
Wow, thank you, Jon. Yeah, beautiful. That's yeah, what a lovely gratitude. And it really connects then with the poem that I was going to read to start us off as well, which I hadn't realized until you started how wonderfully connecting the poem is with your gratitude. Yeah. So this is from my book, and I thought as we were continually going to be using the word emergence tonight, I thought it's appropriate for us to start off with this poem. Life is emergence, and emergence is life. The entire history of Earth is a story of emergence, of attraction and interaction, of merging and emerging, of relationship building, for collaborating and co-creating, for mystery and surprises. Emergence is provocative and dynamic, exciting and daunting, charismatic, wild and adventurous. It's colourful, messy and graceful, unfathomable and wonderful, organic, elemental, fractal and fluid. It's awe-inspiring, irrational and crazy. Life is arising and surfacing, appearing and birthing, renewing and replenishing, flowing, interacting and opening. Emergence is cosmic and cellular, embodying and connecting. It's paradoxical, reliable and unpredictable, elusive and ever-present. People are emerging culture, sharing, growing, evolving, creating, adapting, stepping out, moving along the path of discovery. Cultural emergence opens fields of encouragement, unleashing collective genius to live within the question of humanity. Fertile emergence holds radical potential for humanity's healing, for metamorphosis and shape-shifting within the perfect storm. It's multi-layered, holographic, quantum leaping, belief-bending, rule-defying. Cultural emergence is hopeful and magical. And I had the emergence of my daughter there shouting at me for dinner. You might have heard in the background there. Yeah. What was I? Just in the moment where I was saying unpredictable emergence there. Oh, lovely. Yeah, thank you. So yeah, over to you, Delvin. Yeah, if anyone
Wow.
would like to put chat where they're calling in from and what they're grateful for in the chat, that'd be lovely to hear where all those fridge magnets are around the world. Over
Beautiful.
to you,
Thank you
Del.
for that. Yeah, we'd love to hear from you. Drop into the chat. And I'm just so excited to be here with this really special group of people. Thank you so much for showing up for this. I wanted to open with a quote from an interview I did with Looby, which was published in Cosm Journal of Visionary Culture on the theme of love. Each of us is a part of many different systems: our home, intimate relationship, extended family, workplace, and groups, as well as the bigger systems of our towns and countries. Each system has its own culture, its own standards, priorities, beliefs, ways of thinking, and ideas about what is acceptable or not. We carry our own personal culture, which is permeable to the cultures of the other systems that we're a part of. There is a cultural emergency on this planet, manifesting in all manner of ills. Culture is not static or fixed, it's dynamic, and we can actively engage in molding, shifting, and creating the cultures that we're a part of. We have the capacity to turn this emergency into a cultural emergence, where we intentionally and proactively emerge a culture based on care, gratitude, connection, and love. Thanks for this, Looby, and I'll pass it on to Barbara.
Yeah, beautiful words, Delvin. Yes, I'm sharing in the chat the link to the Kickstarter page, because I saw, oh yeah, hang on, I will share my screen. I saw that we have 9 people backing the project. Woohoo! Yes.
Yay! Thank you, everyone. Thanks,
Yes.
Bernard and all the other people. Yay!
Yeah, very grateful for these 9 people and all the people that will come. And also today is International Women's Day, and I thought to also give my gratitude to Looby for being a role model and for her feminine leadership and changing the world. She's really an amazing visionary woman and a pioneer in permaculture. And yeah, I'm very thankful that you have supported me in my path, in my leadership, and in my personal power. So gratitude to Looby. Well, Jon, can you tell us a bit about your story with Cultural Emergence?
I can. Yeah, thank you for your lovely words shared there, Barbara, as well. Delvin, sharing that from the gorgeous, I don't even want to call it a magazine. I don't know what to call that gorgeous, that amazing thing that you guys create. Yeah, this is wonderful, and your gratitudes are really wonderful to read too. Thank you for offering them. And well, you know, I guess you told me it was 2016, Looby, right? When I came over to Applewood for the first time, and we didn't have a plan when we got together. We just agreed I'd get there early enough that we could sit and talk about what we were going to teach together. And Looby challenged me in a way that no one had challenged me before. And I've been teaching all over the world for a long time, you know, the things that I always teach. And Looby had been doing similar things. And she said, well, we could both just do what we always do, and, you know, take turns and just repeat the same old things that we always do with a different group of people. Or we could find that place in between us where we don't know what it is, and let it just emerge. And out of that came Cultural Emergence, and it was so filled with magic, synchronicity, magic, and it just sort of stretched my creativity to this place of falling into and relaxing into creativity and just trusting. And that allowed emergence to come through. And I actually had to sort of reassess my approach to everything after that time at Applewood. And I'm really glad that Looby and I have just stayed in space and in relationship with each other where we could keep doing that together for the last few years, because it's helped to strengthen a muscle that has really changed the way that I do things and has cleared the way for many more positive, good things to come through than I was allowing myself to be able to birth, if you will. You know, like the mind, we tell ourselves things that are so limiting, and we believe things that are so limiting, and our blind spots can be so limiting. But when you start to play in the field of cultural emergence and you relax into it, you start to discover that, wow, this cultural emergency could truly be a cultural emergence. And the story that we're telling ourselves about how bad things are on the planet could shift rather quickly. And I'm seeing that from microcosmic experiences to big group experiences, you know, so I'm now convinced that, you know, kayaking in a community, in a family of cultural emergence is the best way to ride the river. And I'm stoked to be doing that and going through the rapids and the calm and just witnessing the gorgeousness of our universe together, and allowing for the possibility of the seemingly impossible to emerge. So let's go.
And
There you
Jon,
are.
could you add something about why what the card deck is going to bring extra into the
Yeah,
emergence talk?
you know, I got this little bowl right here, you know, and I can reach into it and fumble around and pull out something and look at it. Pollination, fun, you know. And these are really kind of fun. A friend of mine made these for me and gave them to me, and they're just fun to reach up and pull down. But you know, if I reached up here and pulled down a cultural emergence principle and looked at it instead, it would be so much more than pollination. You know, it would like connect to something real, potent, and powerful. And how much more fun Design Web will be to play. It'll be like playing, you know, like having the card decks is going to just make this so much more playful. I'm thinking, you know, like I can imagine sitting around the table with my children at dinner time, you know, and having some fun with these cultural emergence cards and actually influencing my mischievous but creative and lovely teenagers into, you know, becoming more emergent in their approach to things. I mean, they're surfers and skateboarders, so they're already sort of riding waves emergently, but to give them tools and to be able to point my finger at things, I'm just really excited about that. Yeah, and I look forward to that because there's so much good material that weaves together from all the different elements of what's going to be in the cultural emergence card deck. And I don't know if you want me to speak to the 8 archetypes yet, or if you want me to hold off for a minute or what.
Yeah, I think let's see if we can come to that in a bit. But let's have a play with some of the tools and some of the cards. Thank you,
Great.
Jon.
Yes.
It's great. Yeah, great. So so what I'm going to do, this is really experimental, so we'll see how this works. I haven't tried this before on Zoom, but I was like thinking, okay, how do I get you lot interacting with these cards? So we're going to have a game of guess the principle. We're not going to make it too hard. So I've got to put 4 in the chat there. So you've got an option of 4. And I'm going to try it different ways and we'll see what works. So the first way we're going to try is I'll put principle up and then you can all unmute and shout out what you think, and we'll have just a little bit of chaos, and then we'll try the other ways and we'll see which way we like. So okay, so there is one. It's going to be one of the 4 in the chat. So here we are. So if you think you know, unmute and shout it out.
It's leave space for emergence.
Leave space.
Leave space.
Leave space.
Yay!
Yay!
You're right. It is leave space for the emergence. Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought I had the wrong thing there. Okay. Okay. This time you can put the number in the chat. Okay. We'll see. We'll see which way we like. Okay. This one. Number 1. Lots of number 1s here. Some number 4. Yeah, okay. Step into the unknown. Off we go into the unknown. Good. You lot are good. Okay, now we'll try the third way of doing this on Zoom, which is that you all need to put up your numbers. Okay. So we're like now you've got 50% chance of getting it right. So we're okay. This one. Ah, interesting. So so that's interesting. Okay, so that was now it's interesting because this one is the other one. So this one, the fourth one we've got left. So and now I'm seeing that they're quite similar, aren't they? So this one so this is number 3. No, this one's number 4. I'm wrong. This is synchronizing with natural patterns and cycles. And then this one is come into the light. And I realise now doing it that those two are quite similar. So I'm not surprised that they had things. Okay, so I liked, out of that game, I liked the shouting out the best. How did everyone feel? Like, yeah, okay. So on round number 2. Okay. Round number 2, we've got different 4 principles, and I need to pick up the right pile. Okay, so we'll go for the shouting out option. This one.
Work to
Work to
completion.
completion.
Yeah. Work to completion. You're right. You lot are good at this. This one. So shouting out again because I think we like this one the best.
Use the intelligence of cooperating hearts.
Use the intelligence of cooperating hearts.
Yeah. I like this. Okay. This one.
Emergence to support emergence.
Yeah, use emergence to support emergence. So I didn't really explain, but this like symbol here I use as like shorthand for emergence. So that maybe makes more sense to people now. I could have said that. And that one, you should be able to guess this one. It's the last one.
Respond to life.
Respond to life.
Yeah. Okay, we're doing so well. I'm having fun with this. I've got one more set of 4. I just need to find. Where's it gone? Had it already and it's got lost. Okay, here's my third set of 4. Okay, so this is the third set of 4. Okay, here we go.
Plan
And flow.
Yeah. You lot are good at this.
Emergence happens in relationships.
No, this one is that allowing for the possibility of the seemingly impossible. It's like this
Right.
impossible heart.
Uh-huh. That's the one that has to go on the t-shirt.
Yeah.
That's the first one. Emergence happens in
It's in
relationships.
relationship. Yeah.
Say the other one.
emergence happens in relationships. So we've got there's the pink and the blue that make the purple.
Ah, nice.
And
I'm colorblind.
okay, well, need to. I'm open to suggestions on how to do that for colorblind people. Then
Anyone can raise the vibration, I suppose.
Yeah, it is indeed. Lovely. Thank you everyone for playing with me. That was fun. I had fun anyway. You're all very good at it, which is showed what I hoped it would do, which is that the visual brain absorbs things differently and adds new layers of meaning and memory in there. So that's really what I'm hoping with, or what I'm intending with the card deck, is that the visual really supports us to engage in the tools in a different way than just reading them does. And but then of course we've got the words on the back that then reinforce the messages of the visuals. Yeah. Thank you. So who is next? Is it Barbara? Are you sharing with us?
Yes, the design. Because I'm sharing my screen. Because yeah, of course, like with, hang on, something. Yeah,
We can see it.
good. Like with all projects, we make a design first. I'm trying to get this full screen, but I think you have to do with this. You don't see it full screen, I guess.
We see enough. I think it's good enough, Barbara. Yeah, full screen sometimes goes funny, so I would go with.
Let's not do funny. This is a boring PowerPoint presentation. No, yeah. So, what is this all about? Well, this Cultural Emergence toolkit in the shape of a card deck. And the main goal is to grow the Cultural Emergence community globally. And Looby is holding up a few cards. Well, and you've seen a few cards in the game. And this is the image that we use, let's say the style. And for the people who do not know what Cultural Emergence is, it is a holistic set of tools that support effectiveness and our designs. It supports nature connection and connection to each other. And the toolkit brings more awareness of culture and systems thinking. Or in super short, Cultural Emergence is social permaculture 2.0. Well, of course, we have, for design, we work with permaculture ethics. And yeah, basically it is, the card deck is a playful way of sharing wisdom. I'm quickly running through the slides because normally slides are boring. So I like to not read what's on it. Yeah, here we try to cultivate a connected team and the larger Cultural Emergence community. And yeah, I really appreciate how how Delvin, Looby, and me work together. Serious but fun, and business but personal. Yeah, the helps many, as you can see, and also not only many helps, but also on many aspects. And the basis of all this help is actually Looby's work, her books and her courses. And yeah, the main limit is probably people's understanding of Cultural Emergence. And if we flip this into, if we flip this limit, then this Kickstarter can be a vehicle to bring Cultural Emergence into the world. Okay, next. Yeah, so here you see 4 of the principles, but actually I think we used all of them. And patterns, yeah, the my second favorite pattern. My first favorite pattern is to disrupt patterns, but the second favorite is zoning the audience. Zoning the audience. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. So imagine the inner circle that says mom. That is the most intimate, your best friends, family, and you're not going. They don't expect you to post updates on Facebook. They want they want you to ring them up. So this is the most personal cycle that you of people that you send personal messages. But the second or the next zone is also quite intimate. It's people that you have personally met, for instance, on a course, and you can send them an email with their name. Hi, Barbara. And then you have circles with more anonymous people that will hear from you through various media. And there are many stages in between, of course. This is just to give you an idea of zoning your audience and how to approach people in different ways. Yes, ideas. Well, the ideas anchor point was so big that it had its own document. And one of the best ideas was the encouraging conversations. Because Looby has some super cool friends, and she is making podcasts with them, and with that creating a web of encouragement. The integration anchor point, well, if the main goal is to make the world a better place, which is the big, then this Kickstarter can help to grow the cultural emergence community. Oh, hang on, where are we? I think I missed a few. What happened? Integration, yes, there. Action, yes, well, lots of action points. And actually the first one is the most interesting one. We first created our team culture with openness and rules like don't take things personal and how to keep each other happy. And that for me is really valuable to set the team culture and then start working together. And momentum, we had many tools to work together, because you should imagine we're on 3 different parts of this planet with all different time zones. So we found great ways to share documents and ideas. Pause. Well, we don't have time for pause. And no, we thought to give people at least 2 days a week pause from our enthusiasm about the card deck. So don't worry that we will keep on spamming you. You have at least 2 days off from our enthusiasm. And we had some interesting reflection points. And then Looby's quotes: transition from a design process to the reality of how that shows up, while knowing the reality of how that actually happens, we don't know yet. We'll have to be emergent in the process and follow the opportunities that come up. So that was the design for the Kickstarter card deck. Back to you, Looby.
Yay, thanks for sharing, Barbara. I love that. I'll put that in the chat, the Cultural Emergence Social Permaculture 2.0. And the who's the mums. And I was thinking of the zoning, like that all of you that have turned up for this meeting, you've moved in a zone now in connection with the Kickstarter. So thank you for being here. Yeah, I think, was it Delvin, you were going to go next? We're all mums, yeah.
Yes, great, fun to share the design, which is going to evolve. It'll be interesting to see. Maybe we'll do another share at the end and see how the design has evolved and what other golden keys we've unearthed. I've run quite a few Kickstarters, so I thought I would do a little orientation on our Kickstarter page. So I'm going to post the page link in the chat, so you can go there yourself if you want and follow along. Also, I'll do a screen share in a minute or two if you'd rather go through it that way. So yeah, the crowdfunder is a collaboration with you and with our global community. Together, we want to manifest something miraculous and write a new chapter in the story of cultural emergence. C.S. Lewis said, "Miracles are a retelling in small letters of the very same story, which is written across the whole world in letters too large for some of us to see." So I'm going to jump in and share my screen for those that would rather view my screen share than the page on their own, although I encourage you to follow along on your own screen. You can just click off the screen share if you want to look on your own screen. There we go. Yay, we made it. So joyed that we're activating the Cultural Emergence card deck, and the principle used the intelligence of cooperating hearts. It's great to be here with such cooperating hearts today. This crowdfunder is a golden key that can allow a larger group of us to unlock something that might have been impossible for an individual, a bright and beautiful Cultural Emergence card deck. So on the Kickstarter page, we have the beginning of this new story that we're writing together about manifesting the miraculous. So here you can learn more about Cultural Emergence, the card deck, and ways to use the cards. We'll scroll down a little bit here. It's a great picture of Looby. So on the right side, we have the rewards. You can pledge any amount without a reward at the top, and any pledge is an initiation into this collective story, including getting updates with behind the scenes, play-by-plays, sharing of synchronicities and miracles that we manifested, and deeper insights into the deck and how to use it. We have the £5 pledge where you get a postcard mailed with thanks from Looby. And there's a limited time pledge of £50 will be rewarded with a beautiful full color 100 card printed deck. And this reward is going to pop up by £5. So it's just for the first little period of time that it's at 50. And shipping costs, we're going to calculate and charge separate at the time of shipping, just to keep it really frosty. So our manifestation goal for this is to have things shipping in November, in time for the season of giving. So if we can stick to our timeline, that's kind of our flow, is just make it happen. So you can be amongst the first wave of people to be a stand for this project. You already are by showing up today, and we really appreciate that. So a few more rewards we have starting off. There's a 2 deck and also a 5 deck, so you can get cards to gift or resell. And the top tier is a bespoke one-to-one mentoring session with Looby. There's only 6 of those. So I'm going to jump in right now at the discounted early bird rate and just make my pledge. I'm going to choose Canada though, because I'm here in British Columbia. So for those of you that haven't done this, it's really as easy as that. So yeah, beyond pledging, of course, we would so appreciate you helping share this initiative with friends and networks on social media, hashtag Cultural Emergence. Follow and comment on Facebook and Instagram, and stay connected. Stay tuned in. If you sponsored any level, you get these inner updates. But I want to do this little orientation on the page and hope that many of you will join us on this journey. I think we're going to do another game. So maybe I'll pass it back to Looby for some engagement.
Yeah, thank you. Wow, the numbers are going up. It's really exciting. Yeah, cool. So, yeah, I was going. So we've done a little bit about the principles. I then also wanted to see how some of the other families of cards go together. And just to say, these cards are my draft set that I've been playing with, and they're going to evolve as time goes on. But yeah, I'm going to so I've also got here these drawings which are for the 8 shields, and so I was going to pick one of the 8 shields and one of the design web anchor points, and see, firstly I'll see if Jon or Barbara Delvin have got any thoughts on how those things go together. Maybe I'll throw in a principle as well, just for fun, just at random. So I'm just picking things at random. Okay, so Jon, I'm going to give you the first go at answering. So firstly, do you recognise which which direction that is from the 8 shields?
This particular card?
Yeah.
Which direction from the 8 shields?
Fire around the middle, sitting around the fire.
Yeah, it must be evening.
Yes.
Must be west.
Yes. Great. So we've got the west, and then we've got action, and we've got work to completion. There you go. How do those 3 things fit together, Jon? I'm stretching you with the randomness of this.
Well, I would say if we all gather and share a conversation around the fire, so to speak, and we are doing that right now, and we move into action in our own little fires where we gather with people, we can work to completion by helping to reach the goal for the Kickstarter.
Yay!
Ah, great.
Well done.
I'm glad I didn't botch that one.
Okay, let's see what else we've got. Okay, here's interesting, and we'll start with you, Jon, but then we'll see if anyone else has got something. So we've got synchronizing with natural patterns and cycles. We've got the ideas anchor point, and we've got this one, which is the south energy of the 8 shields. Oh, you're muted.
You're asking me to do this one too?
So we've got the south energy, ideas, and synchronizing with natural patterns and cycles.
I feel like I'm on a game show right now. This is funny.
Does any Delvin or Barbara want to step in?
Sure, yeah. Well, I think of the South as there's like a relaxing thing, but there's also an inquisitive focus, which I think is really good for ideas. So I feel like part of the emergence of this campaign is really looking at the patterns around us that emerge, the patterns of engagement, the patterns of synchronicity, and follow those like little oracles or guiding signs to come up with new ideas to engage and create opportunities to connect. So inquisitive focus, ideas, and synchronizing with natural patterns. I feel like that'll help us out.
Thanks, Delvin. Should we go for one for Barbara? All right, here we go.
Give her a couple keywords for the 8 shields too, just to.
Yeah. So, well, I've got this one, which I know is your time of day, Barbara, your early morning East energy. that happiness and vitality that comes in the morning. Respond to life and momentum.
And how to bring that all together in a nice story like Jon would do. Oh, goodness.
You can bounce it back to Jon. He bounced it to Delvin, so we can bounce it around the whole room. And then at some point it will bounce back to me, won't it? And I'll be like,
I was hoping for easy ones. The first one, I was fantasizing about celebrating after all the actions, but this one, yes, Jon, your turn.
All right, show me again.
Okay, we've got the East energy.
Yeah.
Respond to life and momentum.
East energy, respond to life and momentum. Well, here's how I would do that. This is probably totally wrong, but this is what I'm going to say. I'm going to go out in the morning into nature when I am, responding to life itself. Just going out to refresh my creativity by connecting with that inspiring feeling of dawn, which I do every morning anyway. And from that, I'm going to get my inspiration, my ideas of how to move this forward, which is going to create momentum if I'm doing this every day.
Yay!
Yay.
Did I get it?
Maybe I'll pipe
You
in
get a
here on
point.
this too.
Oh, point.
Okay, you get 3 points because you wove them all in.
Countless points. I'll throw in a perspective here too. I love this game because it really highlights that if you're looking at a list of principles on a page, that can still be really helpful. But when you gamify them by putting them into cards and start to see that, oh, these can form guilds and they can work together, and there's endless combinations of the different principles that can unlock great new ideas for how to move forward with a decision or a design, or how to understand things in a creative new way. So I love how this game highlights that, the endless possibilities of matching different principles and practices together. I love it.
Yeah, thanks, Delvin. And Jon, you're getting points from all over the world in the chat. So.
I noticed that. I'm feeling really blessed.
Go on, everyone, more points for Jon and Delvin and Barbara. Yeah, wonderful. Jon, just give us your 2 sentences. I know this is the challenge for you. Okay, we'll give you 3 sentences on what are the 8 shields and the directions and how those cards are going to be useful.
Yeah, so the 8 shields came from asking the question of, if we were to create an organizing principle for all these wonderful nature connection tools, how would we do it? And the elder Ingwe said, all over the world, everyone, including my Irish ancestors, deceased now, but my Irish ancestors and my Akamba tribe people and the Bushmen that I grew up with, and they all use the directions as a way of organizing. He says, but we can't use the Irish way, we can't use the Lakota way, we can't use any one culture's way. We have to find a universal way. And I said, how are we going to do that, Ingwe? He said, we're going to just ask children, until children have told us what they feel about sunrise, what they feel about midday, what they feel about sunset. And we will find the archetypal value from listening to all the children, from direct observation. And then we started to apply that to everything. And it became an amazing creative tool, because you start to realize that everything wants to flow from sunrise towards midday, towards sunset, towards midnight, and these from spring to summer to autumn to winter, these flows are universal, and things will move in those flows. And so if you know that and you anticipate it, you can realize, oh, I'm working on this project. It's really in the East right now. It's really inspired, but we have to get to the South where we actually get focused and actually do things. Then we get to the West and celebrate like we were going to do for Looby when we hit the target. so that's what the H Shields does, but it's a really awesome tool because if you can figure out where you are, you know what to expect next and how to flow with the flow of nature, because that's ultimately what the H Shields teaches you. So there you go. That was 3 really long sentences.
Thank you, Jon. Yeah, and they just add another layer into the card deck, so it's going to have all these multi-layers that mix together, and you'll be able to learn much more about how to use the 8 shields, how to use the design web, 7 ways to think differently, all the principles. It's a big, lovely card deck that's emerging. I was wondering, Robin, I know it's really early for you, and I know we're going to have a much longer, encouraging conversation later this week, which we'll share with everyone. But would you be up for just sharing a moment? So Robin Clayfield actually really pioneered the use of card decks within permaculture teaching. So I just feel really blessed that she's here and would like to give you a moment to just share why you think card decks are so useful to for learning.
Yeah, thanks, Looby. Yeah, I guess it was in the very early 90s that Sky and I were starting to pioneer our more creative, interactive facilitation work within permaculture, and realizing that people had all kinds of different ways of learning. They didn't just learn by sitting in a classroom and hearing someone talk or write with chalk on a blackboard, which is how I kind of grew up. And yeah, I find it really useful for engaging people who are more visual, but also more kinesthetic. So we can, be touching like you've just been doing, even on a screen. You're able to help people see and almost feel that they're holding the cards and playing with them together. So it also brings in that whole element of creativity with a card game. You can be random, like any kind of divination tool. It's like, oh, which one is going to help me this morning, or which one will guide this project? And yeah, thanks for asking, Looby, because it was such a revelation for us back then. I didn't plan to use card games. I just, at one point, I'd been teaching the sessions on permaculture principles in the 2-week permaculture design course, and I was bored with how we did the principles. And the first ever teacher training course we did in 92, one of the women in that course said, oh, you can seed things into your subconscious by thinking about them just before you go to sleep at night. And why don't you try it tonight? And so that night I was lying ready to go to sleep, and I thought, what's a perfect way to be able to teach the permaculture principles in a creative, interactive way? And I woke up seriously seeing the card games breaking up the information into a buzzword for the principle, an illustration, a simple definition. And in the early ones, it was quite a cryptic kind of definition, but we turned that into a Mollisonism. So, a way that Bill Mollison might share it. So that was the original card game. Yeah. Thanks for asking. That's really sweet.
Yeah, thanks. I love hearing that it came to you in your sleep. That's brilliant. Yeah, lovely. Lovely. Yeah, I had just a little very short story. Just when I was doing the video editing, there was a woman, a 98-year-old woman who was like, what are you doing with this video editing? And I got the cards out and I showed her them, and she was looking through them for like 20 minutes, and she was just like, wow, these came out of your brain. And like, she was just totally able to engage in the visuals, even though she had no concept, she couldn't grasp any of the concepts. But yeah, so they really are accessible for anyone. Yeah, thank you. Delvin, do you want to?
Sure, yeah, I'll just say as well, Robin introduced me to creative and dynamic facilitation and gamifying education, which was an incredible breakthrough because I had a background in formal chalk and talk style education. And she has a series of decks which I use in all my classes. So I think those decks will interact and play really well with the new Cultural Emergence card deck. Albert Einstein said there's only 2 ways to live your life. One is though nothing is a miracle, and the other is though everything is a miracle. So I am stoked to manifest a miracle with a little help from our friends. Check out the Kickstarter page. I'm going to pop it in the chat again, and I'll pass it back to Looby and Jon to take us home.
Yeah, wow, I can, the numbers are going up on the Kickstarter page. It's exciting. Yeah. Wow, well, just, yeah, really big gratitude to you all for being here today. I can't believe we've just had an hour together. It just feels like it's gone like that. But yeah, we've had an hour together, but do stay engaged. We'll be sharing lots of encouraging conversations, which were aimed at encouraging all of you and whatever your contribution is in on your life path, as well as encouraging the Kickstarter into manifestation. It's like the waves of encouragement and ripples of encouragement out into our lives. So yeah, thank you all for coming. Jon, would you like to close out our gratitude?
Not really, but I guess I have to. It's been fun hanging out with you, and it did go by too quick. But yeah, I would love to just remind us all, like, the beautiful journey we went on together, and all the things that we felt and saw, and just really like let move through our beings around what we're grateful for in this beautiful world that we share. So just remind you that we did that, and my gratitude has only increased from all the points that I got during this session here. But I'm also really grateful for those of you who are already supporting the Kickstarter here. It's very exciting. And again, back to you, Looby, for bringing this manifestation forward. And it's going to be such an enriching thing for all of us. And thanks everybody for being here. And now we got to separate our minds and go our separate ways until we gather again to celebrate a great moment together here. We have to have some kind of after party, or maybe a mid party somewhere along the lines. But thanks for being here, and we'll just release our gratitude and go off and carry that out with what is it called, Looby? What are we going out with? We
are going out with a whoosh.
Okay.
If that's what you're thinking, yeah, we are going out with a whoosh. And like all parties, there's a bit of an after party, so I'll hang around if anyone wants to stay and chat to me. I'm still quite hyped up. I feel like I've been on sugar all day. I haven't been, but I feel like I have. But yeah, let's yeah, gratitude to Ruth for putting us in contact, definitely. So let's just rub our hands together and just all that energy that we've got from this call together, and like send it wherever we want to send it out into our lives, into the more than human world, and maybe to the future generations as well. So on the count of 3, we'll whoosh. 1, 2, 3.
Whoosh! Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much, everyone. And thank you, Barbara and Delvin, for teamwork, Jon for being here. Yeah, thank you. We could stop recording now, but I'll hang around. Jon, what time are we meeting tomorrow? Did he just go?